Speaking of goals you all want to achieve, the Team Ontario sent out a congratulations or a good luck message for the women's team at the Olympics. And how often do you guys talk about where they were maybe at your age and what that path looks like to get to play for Team Canada or NCAA or WNBA even?
Yeah, our coaches and everyone, we all talk about how hard they work and what we need to do to get to where they are.
And when you look at a day like today, you're going through some fun stuff and you're kind of taking a break from the rigmarole of focusing on the team aspect of basketball and what it takes to win the tournament next week. How fun is a day like today to kind of break up all of that stuff?
Yeah, it's really fun. Have a break off of the court, but also like spend time with your teammates. Maybe we don't know everybody, but we get to know each other more personally, especially on these days.
One thing that's for certain is that Team Ontario has a tradition of excellence. Last year, coming off a bronze medal, but 8 medals over the last 10 years, 2 years off because of COVID year. So, how much is that preached in terms of the excellence and what it is required to wear Ontario across your chest?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, but we all have to work hard, keep it going. We all know, yeah.
Perfect.
And is there something in particular you want to definitely contribute to this team when you guys are on the court?
Leadership and energy. We don't have a lot of time together. Like we have about like 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure we work hard when we're with each other and just have energy. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. I'll be
Thank
touching
you.
base with you guys in Newfoundland over the phone. But stick around. We've got more interviews coming up for Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Portia, we were actually on the call for the ONLX G Elite Championship. We saw you win that MVP. It was a fantastic game for you, but what is something you can do in preparation for nationals to try to produce the same quality of games as that MVP winning one?
I think just getting to know my teammates more. Like I haven't played with any of them really, so I think just getting to know like what their like strengths and weaknesses are and getting that during the games.
And yeah, and it is, you are one of the ones that aren't on that Kia Nurse team. So have you found it difficult finding the chemistry on the team, or since there is kind of a foundation there already, has it been easy to jump in?
Yeah, a little. I think just most of them like you can definitely see the strengths and weaknesses. Like because I've played it with a couple of them or like against a couple of them with OSBA, so like I can definitely see them. But I guess getting to like learn more about them is good.
Yeah.
He averaged 22, just over 22 points per game on nearly 50% from the field last season with ONLX. Now you're playing against the best of the best, all the different provinces. This is a national event. What kind of challenges do you think you're going to be facing in terms of the defenses that are going to be thrown at you, knowing how prolific of a scorer you are?
I think just like trusting my teammates on getting me like open shots and like the shots that they think that I can take more of, but also just being confident at the ball.
And what do you know about the history of Team Ontario and its excellence at this tournament? They have 8 medals in the last 10 years, coming off of bronze. What's the expectation going to Newfoundland in terms of getting back to that podium?
I think just like stepping up on defense, like that's what we're really depending on. But I think just like if we can stick to that, I think we can win gold.
And you guys get to spend a lot of time with each other off the court as well. How much does that contribute to the chemistry on the court?
I think a lot because like I feel like we're really like connected as a team, especially with our team bonding off the court. So I think the second we get on the court, if someone misses a shot, it's like don't worry, you'll get the next one and stuff.
And with a ton of basketball and traveling coming up, what can you do to ensure you're physically and mentally sharp going into nationals?
I think just like when I have days off, just like taking it like seriously and stuff and stretching and yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be touching base with you guys in Newfoundland during nationals, but stick with us. We've got more interviews coming up for Team Ontario Media Day, presented by the Ontario Dairy Farmers.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're joined here with Lexi and Tatiana. So you guys are both playing with teams on the OSBA. How is it like competing against all these girls for a whole school year, but then coming together for nationals?
It's really fun. Like I love all of these girls, so it's really exciting to get to play together. And I love playing against each other because we get to really compete and we know each other so well, so we know how to play against each other. But it's really fun.
Do you think it kind of helps you when you do come together because you know their playing style since you guys have played against each other so much? Does it make it easier to kind of mesh together in the short amount of time you have?
Yeah, and I also I think we've played together before already, so it's pretty easy to come together and just have fun and just yeah.
Lexi, I watched a highlight reel of your defense and your charges drawn and your steals. Talk to me a little bit about when you knew the importance on defense was a big contributing factor to winning.
Yeah, I mean, just from like a young age when I started, like defense wins championships. I mean, just it's a tangible, so you can bring it every day, and just depends on your energy and what you come out with every game.
I also saw you did some training with Kaylin Santa Maria at the lab. Have you been able to pick her brain at all about her experience with Team Ontario before?
Yeah, a little, but she's my best friend too, so just talking about everything really, not just Team Ontario, but yeah.
And what challenges do you think might be Team Ontario be facing this week with such a short ramp up, getting ready to go to Newfoundland on Saturday?
I think just definitely playing together and being in sync. And yeah, like all the other teams have been training together for a while, so we have less time and we just need to try to like get together.
And both of you, if you could quickly tell us your mentality going into a week long of basketball games. It's going to be exhausting mentally and physically, but what's your mindset going into that?
I just think just I don't know, just to play my game, and I think everything will come after that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, just try not to lose yourself in the like how big everything is and just trying to play hard and play like yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Stick around. We've got more interviews coming up. And this is Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We're joined here by Paige Forjour. So you are one of the few players on this team who's returning from last year. If you had one advice you wanted to spread to everyone on the team about what they can expect going into nationals, what would it be?
A lot of tough competition, really. A lot of these teams are really looking to beat us because we didn't win last year, but we got third. So
Yeah, you
so
definitely have
yeah,
that reputation. Is there some added pressure or is it more of motivation?
more motivation. We're all really motivated to be here, really excited to just play and have fun.
Yeah.
So we're all really excited to be here. Yeah.
Well, you were named to the second team All-Star and all-defensive team this previous year. We've talked to a couple of players about the importance of defense. What is it that you find is the best part of creating a team defense in order to win a tournament like this?
Defense wins games, honestly. If you have like good lockdown defense, everyone knows their role, does their part. You get a lot of steals, you get a lot of layups, on fast breaks. You can win a game with defense, really.
When you look at last year's run to that third place finish, do you have any, like, can you pinpoint a moment or a game or something that was missing from that team in order to elevate it to that gold level? And how can this team get there?
I think something that was missing last year definitely was a presence inside. An inside presence against like a smaller team like British Columbia last year. They were a bit smaller, so we could use our size advantage to get inside, easy layups, easy buckets. But honestly, we just came up short. We thought we were winning. For second quarter, we were up by like 20 points, but we slipped from there. We didn't expect it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a game of runs, right? And it's a four-quarter game. There's lots of game to be played. I'm just wondering what the key message is from the head coach in this week leading up to the journey to Newfoundland and how your team can embody that.
A key message?
Yeah, like what's the number one priority day in, day out?
Number one priority, just effort and energy. Honestly, it's what you can. It's the only thing you can really control in a game. Yeah, if you give 100% effort, 100% effort, 100 energy on the bench and on the court, you're gonna be a great player. You're gonna win a lot of games for your team. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in Newfoundland and safe travels.
Thank you.
And stick with us. We've got more interviews coming up from Team Ontario Media Day. Welcome back. We're joined here with Didi. So, Didi, you play a lot of basketball with traveling wise, with the Kia Nurse team, with doing some of your own side quests and stuff like that. Do you think that traveling with basketball is going to help you make the transition into Newfoundland and being there for nationals for a week?
Yes, of course, because I was playing up in South Carolina, better, stronger competition over there. So I think it'll translate like really good in the game. So
You've been very vocal about your goals. NCAA Division One, Team Canada at some point. WNBA has been thrown around. You've definitely mentioned that. Where do you view this stop on your journey playing for Team Ontario, and what's it going to take to get to that level that you want to get to?
like Team Ontario, this is just the beginning, man. Like hopefully they see me in Team Canada, so I hope I get in Team Canada, and yeah, that's basically it. So yeah.
What's the chemistry like amongst the team right now, and how do you think that's going to grow over the next week when you spend all this time together, and then you're on a flight to Newfoundland, and then you get a whole another week together full of games?
The chemistry is really, really good because we play Key and Nurse together, like almost all of us, and some of them I play basketball. I just play basketball with them, kind of. So, you know what I'm saying? The chemistry is really good. It's gonna translate in the game. We'll be good.
So if chemistry is already good, what's one thing that this team needs to work on and focus on for the rest of the week in order to be in the best position to medal again this year?
Maybe just being more locked in, like stuff like that. That'll be good for us. So, yeah.
And I want to ask you about Justina King. Obviously, she won the championship for Hoop Queens. She was the league MVP this year. How much can you pick her brain about what she does on a day-to-day basis and as a professional? And what can you take from her in order to advance your game?
Um, like I absolutely I love Christina. Like she's sorry, Christina, Justina. I train with her sometimes. I learn from her. Like I I love everything about her. She's really nice to me. She I love the way she hoops. So yeah.
And so Ontario has that standard of excellence. You also go to Crestwood, which definitely has that standard of excellence. Do you think that definitely helps you progress your game, knowing that there's always a standard that you on your team has to hit?
Sorry, wait. Sorry.
Like, do you think that with playing on so many teams that have that history of doing well and performing to the best of their abilities, do you think that helps your game, knowing that there's always something you've got to hit, being on the teams that you're on?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's always something that you have to hit. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Thank you so much for joining us. Come back. We've got more interviews coming. This is Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Here with Sam and Francis. So you guys play together with the OSBA at Lincoln Prep. How do you guys both feel that that's prepared you to take this next step and going to nationals?
I think we've a lot of practice and helps us get ready for this elite level
Yeah.
of basketball.
Like we played together, so we know our weaknesses and strengths, and we can just work off of it and be creative. So yeah.
We've talked to a lot of your teammates about one of the strengths of this team, and everybody's responding with chemistry. How important is spending this time off the court together to develop that chemistry on the court?
Like when you get to know each other, then it's just easier to play with each other, and
Yeah, the energy helps with the chemistry of the team.
Your older brother plays at U of T. Has he been involved in any of these processes for you, getting you ready for elite level competition? What advice has he given you?
he always just tells me to be aggressive and just have confidence, and he's also just helped me get into basketball in the first place. So yeah.
There's a lot of conversation around multi-sport athletes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you won gold at OFSA for high jump.
Yeah.
So you're already an elite performer in another venue. And how do you think that translates to being an elite basketball player as well?
It just helps staying athletic and going all year round, never stopping really. So yeah.
And what about a day like today, media day? It's a little bit of a breakup from the traditional kind of training camp where you're doing 2-a-days. You get a little bit of a break from that. How are you treating today in terms of its fun level and the things that it allows you to get outside of just training for this tournament?
It's fun to just be here and take pictures, not having to worry about basketball for a little bit, just a break kind of.
Yeah, just spending time with our teammates.
Awesome. And since you guys both do go to Lincoln Prep together, how are you finding the coaching here compared to that? Are you finding any similarities, or is it a little bit of an adjustment to get used to a different coaching style?
I feel like it's more there's more higher intensity, but the coaching it's yeah.
Yeah, it's both really good coaching, and they're both great coaches.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Good luck in Newfoundland. Stick with us. We've got more interviews coming up from Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back, everyone. We're joined here with Stella and Kendall, two girls from Crestwood Prep. So how has that been like with working with some of those girls like Toby and Agat, girls that really do have a big resume, have performed on really massive stages? Have you guys got a chance to speak to them about preparation for nationals?
Well, we haven't really got to speak to them, but it's awesome practicing with them, seeing them in the gym every morning, and it's a really good space to work and get better at.
Yeah, it's just a great experience to be able to practice with people of that high level. and intensity, and it makes us better players.
Awesome. And of course, Crestwood always has that level of excellence. Same with Team Ontario, always having medals in the last 8 of 10 nationals. Do you guys feel like that standard is something that motivates you, or do you think it maybe puts a little more pressure on you?
Definitely motivates like us to do better and like push ourselves.
Yeah, because we know we have a standard that we have to meet up to, and we want to prove that Ontario has been winning for a reason.
What we've talked to all your teammates about kind of the chemistry of this team and the foundation of chemistry is already there. What's one area of this team that kind of needs to be focused on this week so that you're putting your best foot forward when you get to Newfoundland?
I would say our defense, just like intensity and communicating, and make sure we're always rotating to the right spot, so that because our defense can win the championship. So we just need to focus on that.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely defense.
Is everybody still kind of finding their footing within this team, or because you guys have all this experience together, everybody kind of knows their role already?
Yeah, I think everyone's just like getting better at their role and like finding their roles, which is like we've been doing this in training camps a lot, so we're all just like finding our part in the team. So
And awesome, is there anything you guys are looking forward to in particular when getting there? Any sort of competition you're excited to play, or is it just overall excitement?
I would say overall it's excitement just for the whole experience and being in Newfoundland and playing against people from all across the country. So yeah.
And it's obviously a very intense schedule with the traveling and training camp. What can you guys do to ensure that you're physically and mentally ready for that week-long span of basketball?
I would say just like taking mental notes throughout practice of what you need to work on and finding time to rest as well as go over all the plays that we have and stuff like that.
And Kendall, with Crestwood, you guys strung together a ton of wins all together. What's the key to stringing those wins together should that happen at nationals and staying disciplined?
I think we just need to have the same like energy, and we all have to like work together like as a team and have like bring each other up and lift each other up the whole time.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Good luck in Newfoundland. And stick around. We've got more interviews coming from Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. We're joined here with Malia and Mira. So you guys play a lot together, and so does the entire team. And a lot of the message is saying that you guys need to work on defense to stay sharp, and that's what you can do to win. But offensively, is there a specific sort of strategy that was kind of taken from all the teams you guys have played on beforehand with each other, or is it kind of starting from scratch?
I don't think it's starting from scratch. I think we kind of use our bigs to our advantage. We have a very like well-sized team, so I think that helps us out a lot. Like I think playing together with our bigs works.
Yeah. I also think pushing in transition and letting our defense like lead to our offense is a good thing, like that we're really good at. And our three-point shooting ability is like when we're hitting our shots, it's really good. So I think that's also going to help us.
I asked Paige about one aspect of last year's tournament that she thinks could be improved on this year. She said presence in the paint. Is there something else that you think is at the top of that list, or do you agree with her?
I agree with her. I think our defense, though, just like our defensive intensity, our like help, like playing together, staying connected.
Is there a specific player on your team that you look to kind of lead the defensive charge? I know I watched a bunch of clips and all the tapes from everybody, and Lexi Wee has a specific defensive tape where she's getting charges drawn and steals. Who's the defensive leader of this team?
Lexi is one. Malia is also one. She has lots of energy and is always working hard. She can guard in the full court. You don't want to play against Malia. So definitely Malia and Lexi. Yeah.
And is there anything, obviously the team wants to work on defense, but specifically to you guys, is there something you want to really work on while you have this time to work with the team and work individually as well?
I think like defensively communication like helps out a ton, and I think we lack that. So I think defensively we need to communicate to make our defense better and stronger.
Yeah. Awesome. I always want to be talking and bringing energy on defense. So
perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Stick around. We've got more Team Ontario interviews from the Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario.